but it can be done at any point in time. That she has what they call a smarter plan that teaches them to set goals, realistic goals. It's very extensive, and there's a whole kit that comes so that in your institution you would have a kit and someone trained that can deliver this.
Thank you. You know, as you described that, when we're telling learning disabled students to capitalize on the resources, I mean, that may be, it just made me think, and we do this in our first year seminar for learning assistants, we're teaching them to be resourceful human beings. This is a lifelong skill. I love my parents. I just lost my dad, 91, mom's still going 96, but they always relied on the family. They never got Meals on Wheels. They never had senior discounts. They never learned to be resourceful. Maybe they felt they were cheating the system, that they weren't entitled to that. But it's back to Jim's point. Might be a way to, when I think about what we do in the first year experience, we're not just getting them to use campus resources. We're teaching them to be resourceful human beings. And that might be, the way you described it was almost a nice way of suggesting the strategy to the student, that it's an empowerment. Capitalize on the resources that are available to you. Thanks. Is that program cost effective? Would that involve a major investment of funds?
Major investment. The kit itself is about $3,000. But I can't speak to the professional development because Dr. Laura Wesell, she delivers that in cohorts. And she'll take as many, for us, as 10 programs. We're up to 14. But we've gotten about 34 programs trained now. And we're seeing huge benefits from that.
And the name of it again, one last time.
Power Path.
Gail, thanks for the strategy. We had one more in the back, Aaron, that I don't want to cut into the panel's time. Your name, where you are, and what you do. Thanks.
I'm Cynthia D. I'm from Jefferson Community Technical College. I'm board leader council. Couple of things. I think a lot of what we're talking about in terms of building with students in the classroom with disabilities, we have to be mindful of ADA regulations and FERPA. And so we have to, if we're going to do anything to empower that student, we've got to first empower our faculty and staff at what they can and can't do realistically in terms of that. I think we all have students in our classroom, and I teach as well, who prefer not to disclose.
Yes.
And so as that's why we have teacher conferences and class conversations. And then you can walk that individual and talk to them and see what their problems or concerns might be, and you walk them to an accessibility or resource center that might can help them deal better, because you've got to be very mindful of the FERPA issues and that you don't get yourself in trouble or the college or institution in trouble with that. My question was about the early alert warning system that you talked about. How do you get people to buy into reporting and helping those at-risk students early on with that system? We're always asking faculty to tell us about who's not attending because of federal financial aid regulations, blah, 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 blah. And then to turn around and ask them about keeping, some people prefer not to keep attendance records and so forth. How do we get buy-in with that in terms of helping that population of students to be persistent?
Yes. Well, given the time constraints, Cynthia, I'm going to have to give you a very glib answer. Welcome to the club if you're having that problem. That's where the emergence of all these software programs, it's the law of least effort, the most convenient way you can have them report that, the least writing they have to do. They'll need timely reminders. We need administrative support. I'm sorry, we need department chairs to help us enforce these policies. I said this yesterday. One, it should be true at Jefferson. Service should be one element of faculty evaluation. We need to take that seriously. A faculty member who's not submitting early alert, despite the fact we've made it so convenient and accessible to them, has to be held accountable. We can't do it all from the ground up. We need those middle managers and the administrative luminaries. Karen, did you have a quick comment from before? I feel bad I forgot you.
I was thinking about
Thanks, Cynthia.
Earlier you talked about Karen Lewis from the University of Kentucky. You were talking about barriers in just the structures on campus, and is it conducive to getting things done? And thinking about, students with disabilities, but students in general, trying to navigate those structures that are impeding their path. I know at the University of Kentucky, we don't do any testing for or screening for students with disabilities or anything. So for a student to, first of all, disclose, then find the red-headed stepchild, the Disability Resource Center, and then be referred off campus for a $300 to $500 test to then demonstrate, you're talking about, barriers in just the structures that are in place that impede that student from getting what they need.
Guys, I'd love to stay with you. I want to be sensitive. Cassandra, thanks for the good question. You made me think about that as an at-risk and sensitivity to a subpopulation that we may have not been given a little short shrift to historically. Aaron, please.
Thank you, Joe. Let's give Joe a big hand. Joe probably has more information than any one person on earth about everything, by the way. So please feel free to email him. Joe, you don't mind that, correct?
No, I love attention in any manner, shape, or form I can get.
I promise you, will give you more detail than you could ever think about getting. We're going to take a break now. Please be back in 10 minutes. We will do our final panel, and I'm sure you'll enjoy that equally as well as you have the others. Enjoy your break.